everybody, my name is Karen Sellenrod. I'm excited to be here today. We're doing aspects of design, and that is interior design. And I've been practicing interior design for, about 20 years now. And I'm also NCIDQ certified, which is the National Council for Interior Design Qualification. Not all 50 states have licensure. That is a licensure exam. Michigan does not. It keeps getting repealed. Florida has the licensure exam, and I am a Florida registered interior designer, ID number 5262. We're supposed to say that. So I'm also a member of ASID, and that is the American Society of Interior Designers, and they believe in design excellence and also the health, safety, and welfare of the public. So today we're going to talk about Oriental rugs, custom rugs, handmade rugs, what they can do for you. So we're going to start off with showing you some samples first and drawings and all kinds of fun stuff, and then real examples. You can see in real life what happens with the rug design and how it looks when it's a finished project. So we'll just get started. I got lots of things to show you today, so we'll just get started here. And the first thing is rug samples. I've got this first rug sample here, which is totally cool. This thing is it's called the sushi rug. It's 100% wool, and I'm not sure where it's made. Some of these say where they're made, but this can be made in this country even. It comes in different colors, and it's a wonderful rug. I wouldn't put it in a high traffic area. I think that could get dirt in it. It would be maybe for a secondary office, a sitting room, a master bedroom, some nice cozy spot where you'd like a pretty rug, but there's not too much traffic. But this is a cool rug. And then I've got this here. This is a rug that's made in Holland, and it's a pure Exminster, pure wool. So this is kind of an interesting thing. It's a type of a shag, but it's this real thick shag. So again, not in high traffic area, but it's a wonderful rug to use. It's nice to walk on. It's festive, it's happy, and it's lots of fun. Another couple series here I've got. I'll show you this one first. This is a fur rug, but it has been hand woven and hand bordered with stitching, and you can get all these different pieces pieced together. And this gives you a very unusual rug for a space, and it's different from what you see most anywhere. And it's also handmade. We also have a couple of handmade sisal rugs. Sisal is from the sisal plant, and it's harvested, and it's woven into a yarn, and then they take the yarn and they make the actual rug out of the sisal yarn. And there could be different patterns in the weave. This is the way this artist had made these patterns. So that's kind of interesting. It's a little picky sometimes, but it's a wonderful rug to give you that natural biophilic feeling and bring the outdoors indoors. This is a nice rug. This is a Argyle. It's called Argyle. It's Harbor Blue. This one's called, made in India. The cool thing about this is it comes in different colors. You can get different patterns on this rug, and you really can have a nice custom rug that nobody else has, and that's pretty cool. These are interesting rugs. This is an unusual material. It's called tapizlan, and it's a nylon that looks a bit like silk. It's also 80% New Zealand wool, and 80% of this tapizlan. Comes in many colors, comes in patterns and different sizes. It's a lot of fun. It's nice to walk on and nice to touch. Another tapizlan, this is called Bokhara. This one is also hand tufted, 20% New Zealand wool, and then the tapizlan. So that's a nice rug. I'll put them over here where you can see them better against a white table. That gives you a little bit more real color idea. This one is a hand tufted rug made of 100% tapizlan. Okay, and then we're back to this. So I've got one more interesting thing here. This is a hand-knotted silk and wool pile. It's made in India. It comes in different patterns. This one is has all kinds of different patterns and sort of a grid pattern shape, but the grid is different patterns of a rug. So we're going to set these aside a little bit so we have some space, and I'll pull out these other nice bigger rugs. This gives you a little bit more feel for what a rug can look like. This is a custom rug. This one is made in India. That's where this one's made. They're making them in India a lot. It used to be that the Middle East was the big area for rugs, but a lot of these are now made in India, or we get more imports from India. But this is a wonderful coloration of a rug that's it's festive and it's fun and it's soft to the touch, and it's a nice rug to. Let me see if there's any more information about what's in it. It says it doesn't really say that the material is exactly. This is, oh yes, 100% wool. So that's that one. This is a wonderful rug because this one is like leaves underfoot. It has silk in it, it has wool in it, it is soft to the touch, and it's a very lovely rug. It gives you an instant feeling of luxury, an instant feeling of because of the soft colors, and green is sort of a nice cool color. And so this is a really nice rug to use someplace. This is a fun one. This is called the chrysanthemum pattern. This one is a nice, big, sturdy rug. It's thick. It's really thick and heavy. Even this small little piece of silken is heavy, and it's 100% wool. And I think there's some silk in it too. I think it's in the little twigs or the branches. But this is a nice rug. It can really give you a nice uplifting space, and it's a great platform in which to build a room on. The last of my samples here is this fun thing. This has a lot of different materials in it, 50% silk, and then it would be wool. And it says, let's see if it has any more information of where it's made. I think it's made also in Nepal. This is made in Nepal. But what a nice pattern. Isn't that a fun, festive pattern? And you can put so many things with this rug because it's not too wild, but it's a really nice rug to live with, to walk on and live with. So we'll set this aside here, and these, and these, and then we'll show you something else over here that I've got for, there you go. The next we wanted to show you some things in this little file folder here. And I'm coming up with a rug for a client. I will quite often come up with hand drawings. And when I do hand drawings, I sometimes do quick color studies with them. So this I threw some onion skin over. It's called onion skin. And I sometimes just grab, colored pencils or marker or something, and I just do some color studies to see what the possibilities are. The manufacturer usually has little palms of color, and so it's nice to use those and get an idea of what the colors could be. So here we have a little creature, and then this one is of leaves. And then this last one, I actually made a whole watercolor of it because this was one that they really liked. But you get a better feel for it in watercolor. And then we usually put numbers to it and so forth. So that's this series here. And then the next thing I wanted to show you, these over here, is this series here. This is something I had done in a class in a college. I was going back, just often I go back to get an architectural degree, but it's still out there, but I'm working on it someday. Someday maybe I'll get it finished. Anyway, I've got a design degree, so that's a good thing. This is a rug that is, this would be a tufted rug, and it would be a custom-made rug, and this is 2 scale. This is 3/4 inch equals 1 foot. So this is the rug itself. And now what we can do, if you want to see how the rug looks in a room, then we've got this kind of a thing here. So now you can see how the rug looks in a room, and then we can go another step farther and put fabrics to it. So we've got this kind of a fabric, which is the sofa. We've got this fabric, which is the stripe that the chairs are in. And we've got this fabric, which is the dots that this little settee is in. And then we've got the black, which is the black background with the florals that wakes up the whole room also. And so now you can see how the whole room is put together, and you get a real nice idea of the vision for the space here. And that's important for people to have an idea, because these things all cost money, and you want to make sure when you're doing it that you do it right the first time, and that it comes out how you hope, and maybe even better than you hope. And that's my That's my job, is to make your home look better than you even expect, but that's what interior designers do. So, and then if you want to take this one step further and see how it looks in the whole space, here it is. So here is our living room with the rug, with all the furniture in it. This would be the front entrance. So you come in here and you go through the tiled area, which is mosaic tiles, and then you have the living room, dining room area. A living room area, this is dining room. And then this goes to the master suite with more floor tiles patterns, and then this goes to the other part with offices and so forth. So that gives you an idea of a whole home and how the rugs could fit into the whole house. So that's a lot of fun to see how the colors go in a home completely, from just the design to the whole thing. And now we've got one more thing I wanted to show you, and that is this thing. This is another exercise in an area rug design, and this one is, I'm going to set this down over here. This one is leaves, and this is done in sort of some soft colors. They're kind of like sunset colors. And then I did it again for this couple, and we did it again in more earthy tones, so they can get an idea of different colors that would set off and start the color scheme for the room. So this is lots of fun. Then I've got one more thing to show you here. This is another interesting thing. This is another design process kind of thing. This is a free-form rug, and it shows the free form of the shape of the rug. And this takes it a step farther and puts some color to it. And this is another idea of the same thing with an acanthus leaf design in it. So that's where we went with this rug, but the finished product I've got in a slide. So we'll start the slides now, and if we can get that going, that'd be terrific. And the slides are, this is the free-form rug that was designed for this living room, and this happens to be Florida, and I designed the whole fireplace wall, but you get an idea of this nice soft coloration started from the rug, and then we took it into the furniture and found lovely velvets and embroideries and things, and finished the whole room out to go around with this rug. So that's why sometimes the rugs we start with first and then go into the furniture from there. The next slide is a living room, and this has a gabe rug. Gabes are fun because they're one color and yet they're nice and thick. So you really have a feeling of something that's well made and luxurious, and yet if you put patterns in it and you put some floral patterns or different different kinds of things with it, it's not overly done. You still have nice color and a nice luxurious rug, and it all goes together beautifully. Sometimes they have dots on these rugs, like on one side or both two sides. They'll have a periodic, every so often they'll have a dot. And then sometimes they have a signature from the artist, and sometimes they'll have a little creature next to the signature. So they're very unique, and as they are all handmade and hand woven. So you get a fun feeling of something special, a real piece of art in your room. On your next slide, we're going to see another custom rug. This one I designed for these people, and this one is a rug that was also made in India. I did it in 4 quadrants, so each corner has a different design. I mean, the design matches all 4 corners. There's all botanical flowers and things, but it sets the stage, and the whole room is centered around this lovely rug, and you have a nice feel for something that's of nature and happy, nice soft colors, and it works well in a Florida room because Florida's is always hot in summer, so we quite often do something with cool colors, or something that has some greens in it, or something that is happy, because that's how people are in that area. The next rug we've got is a rug. This was the Selby Gardens show house that year, and we did a sisal rug with a shag, and we put it on top of it. You can layer rugs. That's wonderful. It's lots of fun to do. This was layered because we had the ASID, it was the ASID show house, and they polished all the terrazzo floors, and it had this wonderful gleam and gloss and everything. So I thought, oh, I can't cover it with any more rugs. So I put all the rugs together, and we had a nice seating arrangement, and then the screen with the mirror with more glossy sort of shine and glimmers in the mirror. And so that kind of helped this whole room just come together. So that was that rug. And the next slide, we've got, this was a Design Live project, and this is a Tafenkian rug. We have a unique thing here because this was all eclectic. This room was supposed to have a sci-fi desk, and it's a magnesium and glass desk with plasma balls on it, but then we put it with this wonderful traditional Tafenkian rug, and then we have a traditional Louis XVI large desk chair, and then a sort of an Art Deco chair, and then stained glass pieces that are also historical. So this has got a lot of old and new and mix and glamour and glitz, but also a little bit of industrial look to it with this desk. So that was a fun look in this particular design show. The next slide will show another room that was done by this was a custom rug for sure. They lived on a lake, they were tuned into lakes, they loved to do scuba diving, they loved to see the fish in underwater life. So this rug really tells the story for the whole room and actually the whole house, because we went down to the lower level, sort of an underwater colors, and upstairs with colors of the clouds and heaven. So it has a nice rug, the rug has a nice feel, and it really gives this room personality. And it tells you a story of what's going on in this room with the clouds and the sun on the ceiling, and then this nice watery rug on the floor. The next house is totally different. This was a poolside cabana for the Von Werner Estates. This was again another ASID show house, and in this room I was going after the midnight soiree. That was the feeling for this room. And I used to see agave layered over this rug on the left side, and that has a kind of a black stone table with little pewter and pewter inlay on it. But this was a lot of fun, this room, and we gave it again a nice sky overhead. But it was the rug sets it off, gives it a festive look, so immediately you feel like you've arrived someplace, and that's what the beauty of this rug is. Next we have a slide of a master bedroom, and they had to raise the roof of this home. It was a remodel, but we went for a Hatchley rug. I showed the clients a lot of rugs, and they chose this one. But a Hatchley rug was fun, and we pulled all the colors from the rug, and that's the whole thing about Oriental rugs and custom-made rugs, is they set the stage now and give you a platform for all the colors in the room, or something that harmonizes with that. And that's the beauty of it all. And you've got something unique, and then it also has luxury to it. So this is a beautiful way to start this bedroom. The next slide shows they call it a Chinese Oriental or Chindia Oriental, but this was probably India made. A lot of rugs are made in India, but it has nice sunny colors. It has wonderful design motifs in it, and I worked with the colors in the rug to bring the rug all harmonize with it and give it a nice, sunny, happy feel in this room. And sure enough, with this beautiful rug, it works. The next one is another show at the Michigan Design Center. This was the idea of it. Of this one was to be in a old crumbling ruin, and so over the ceiling there are slats in the ceiling. And it's sort of to look like you can see the sunset through the slats in the ceiling. It gives it sort of a romantic, unusual look to it. And then the glamour of the mirrored cure cabinet, and then the lapis walls, and then on the floor is a Tibetan rug. And immediately you have a sense of place. You have a sense of a feeling of being someplace again. And that sort of rounds out this lovely room. For a show, and it gives it that show, kind of a show, design excitement. The next show is also a show house. This was an Albert Kahn show house in the Boston Edison district of Detroit. And this client was liking the idea of Versailles, and this was the client's bed. I mean, the homeowner, I should say homeowner, because this is a homeowner for the show house. And so I brought in this big rug, and these antique rugs they can be very expensive, and because they're rare, but they also really give you a platform to work with, and the instant feeling of luxury and the instant feeling of having arrived somewhere. So we add the terracotta figures of the people. They are at least 4 to 5 feet tall in there, and then a filigree desk. And then we detailed out all the moldings, so those moldings were already in the room. So this room suddenly, and then stars around the coffered ceiling, coffered area of the ceiling. So this room has an immediate feel of something more glamorous, something a little bit more regal, something that could be masculine, but also it's enjoyable at the same time. So that's that room. The next one is the loggia. This is the same show house, the same Albert Kahn show house. And this rug is a lovely rug. This was a Tibetan rug. And again, it sets the stage. We have a Moroccan elephant on it, and a French settee, and we have the trellis was all restored. That was all actual wood trellis in this room. And some of it had dry rotted around the radiator. So we fixed the trellis, and they also had these marble urns on pedestals. You see it on the far right, and I did sort of Italian Renaissance floral design in there. So this room relates to nature, and it relates to glamour. We have a fountain in there that really works, and a planter for flowers, and then you have Pewabic tile on the floor, and it's a really lovely loggia. You can just sit and contemplate. And this whole house, this was one of my favorite spots to be in, because that's right where it is right between nature and then you're sheltered at the same time. So that's a lovely, lovely room. And that rug really helped to finish the room off beautifully. For our next slide, we've got another show. This is from the Michigan Design Center, their Design Live. And I was creating this to look like a Napoleon in Africa. So you've got an alligator chair, and the frieze around the room is actually made of acrylic, and it was laser cut in a geometric Greek meander line. But that was to show off the walls and give it a finished look on top of the bed, which is bees, Josephine's bees. That was Napoleon's wife, Josephine. And then the African, out of Africa, sort of fabric behind the laurel leaf was also Napoleonic, and that was Paloma Picasso designed a pillow behind that one. So, and then we had inside the canopy is a chandelier, so that he has some glamour and something royal and distinctive and has strength to it, because for Napoleon, he has to have strength, you know. But he also has this wonderful Napoleonic design. And the floor in here, it looks to me like a Savonnerie rug, because it has wonderful swirling patterns, but it's really a French. Could be a flat weave Aubusson or a flat weave Asmara, but it is a needlepoint flat weave kind of a rug. It does not have a pile to it, but it's still a fun rug. And then on the table, there's some interesting things that Napoleon might have had. And on the bed, I have some more interesting things. If there's a map and a pen that can be used also as spreaders to measure, you know, if you're contemplating the world out there. So that's that kind of a fun room, but the rug really gives a nice anchor to this. So that's why that rug was chosen for this room. The next one, we have a tent, and this is also a Design Live, so it has a story again. I love the storyline thing. The storyline for this tent is that these are nomads. Of course, they're nomads with some very special things in their tent, and they like to go to the beach during the day and maybe go to the nightclubs in the evening. But this rug is a traditional tribal rug, and again, it sets the stage for some glamour. And we have a big tassel trim on the tent, and there's some lovely mirrors in there and beautiful fine woods. So it really tells a story of people who are enjoying their tent. and it has a nice feel at the same time of luxury. The next slide over is a room in Lake Orion, close to Clarkston. This one, they had the rug. This is a French Sino Savonnerie, this rug, and it has lots of colors in it that were lovely. They had a room that was all gray, and they wanted me to make it a little happier. So I pulled colors out of the rug. and to make the walls a little more golden, and to find a fabric for the windows. We made some drama in their draperies and pillows, and so the whole room now comes together and forms a lovely setting for a house on the lake, where people can jump, come in from the lake, from the water, or entertain in the evening and look on over the sunset, and still have some lovely things in the room set off by this lovely, gorgeous Sino Sevignerie area rug. The last slide, I believe we've got one more here. This is a Bruton sofa. This was a setting sort of like a shadow box, a bit like a stage, so you get rows and rows of fabrics overhead. And we have a Bruton sofa with a gobo star spotlight shining right on the Bruton sofa. And then the rug on the floor is a Lacy Champion, and that is made of wool. Nobody died to be that rug. It really was a rug made of wool by Lacy Champion. And on the wall is, I believe it's a kilim. It could also be a duri. The kilims are made in Iran, and a duri is made in Jaipur. There's a different technique used in the weaving of each of these. So if you see them side by side, you can see the difference. Otherwise, they sometimes look very similar. But this has a fiber optic light coming out from behind a stainless steel cocktail table, and it shines through the chair onto the wall. So there's a lot of funny little things in this room. On the back wall, I sort of cut out the fabric and painted Aztec creatures, which would also relate to a sense of place with the Oriental rugs and something sort of, totally exotic. And in the middle of it all is a Richard Jersey painting. So this is a fun room, very playful for this design show. And so that's it. I think that's the last of our slides. I'm not sure that there's any more. Is that it then? But I just wanted to tell you that was our show for today. So I hope you enjoyed it. And we talked about rugs and handmade rugs and what a rug can do for you. And so the next show is going to be about color, the why, the where, the how, and the what for, because color is more important than we all realize. So I'm glad, thank you for coming. I hope you enjoyed the show tonight. I look forward to seeing you next time. And in the meantime, I hope you enjoyed our show. My name is Karen Salenrod, and thank you for coming to Aspects of Design, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much.